Parenting styles and how it affects children. Introduction. Parenting involves ensuring that the well-being of a child from infancy to adulthood is guaranteed. It entails the provisional physical and emotional needs of the growing child in addition to social and intellectual support. Each parent wishes to perform their parenting roles to their best in raising children. As a mother, there are areas I am proud of in carrying out my parental responsibilities. However, I would feel better if I could change the way I perform these duties. Although several aspects of parenting should all be catered for, parents actually do better in some areas than in others. I have discussed some of these aspects in this paper from a personal perspective. Discipline of children. Children normally have the same behavioral patterns as the adults around them. They learn to respond to situations depending on what they have observed adults do. This includes screaming at people if they are sometimes being screamed at. Screaming can be avoided by parents loving themselves and their children in a manner that does not elicit deep-seated anger. This is one of my parenting skills that I would want to improve on. It requires self-control of emotions, a habit that children learn from their parents. According to Bailey, self-control involves being aware and in charge of one's emotions such that you consciously respond to situations and not by reflex. Discipline therefore should begin with parents. Punishment and rewards. There is a need for parents to avoid punishing children each time they make a mistake and reward them when they do what is considered right. I have to admit that I still find it hard not to ground my children when they misbehave. As Kohn has noted, children need not feel they are conditionally loved. They need to feel that their parents love them no matter what they do. Parents should therefore make appreciative and descriptive praise rather than evaluative to avoid this. Parenting language. The kind of speeches we make in the presence of our children affect how their minds develop and grow with a direct bearing on their self-esteem. Keeping on shouting at them not to do something derails their inquisitive skills. It is better to direct children on what to do than to keep on preventing them from doing other things. What I keep on asking myself is how to stop telling my children no or don't. Words I am aware of derail their mental growth when used too much. Learning from mistakes. I make mistakes, yet I am a grown-up adult. I therefore do not expect my children to make the right decisions all the time. When they make mistakes, I take the responsibility to make them acknowledge their mistakes and learn from them. If children do not learn from their mistakes, they are likely to develop defensive personalities. These kinds of children are likely to run away from hard situations. When they put up a fight, it is to protect their self-esteem and not to make the right decision. Creative playtime. Although I have a busy work schedule, I constantly create time to play with my children. Apart from our frequent weekend outings, I frequently create conditions that allow for playful activities in the day. When children are involved in creative and imaginative play, it helps them to develop physically, intellectually, socially, and emotionally. Play should allow the children to explore their creative abilities without any adult's agenda. When play is designed as an educational program to meet certain requirements, it does not leave the children to explore any area of their abilities freely and actively. Valuing parenting. Parents should value the relationship they share with their children. Although children need to be guided to develop into responsible, caring, and healthy adults, parents should not attempt to manipulate and control their children. I would not don't try to predict what my children will be as adults or tune them to a specific line at their young age. It is important to recognize the complexities of individuals and acknowledge the open-ended possibilities of what a child can become in his or her adulthood. There are some characteristics of a child that a parent cannot control. When they try to do this and influence their behaviors, they are likely not to achieve their objectives. Conclusion. Raising children is a challenging task that can be overwhelming to parents. As illustrated by the above discussion, love is a basic need for good parenting. It leads to better judgment on decisions, which is fundamental. Parents should also allow their children to develop independence of mind. All in all, a lot is required on the parents' part in raising their children. A parent may encounter some aspects of these, but rarely all, as we human beings are not perfect.